Balloon Beats.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined today by the man, Brandon Kramer. Hashtag shut up, Brandon. Nice t-shirt, Brandon. How we doing?
I'm doing great. First Yankees win is in the books. How about you, Pat?
Listen, I can't complain, especially because the Yankees won. First win of the season. Round of applause to that. Let's go. Chat everybody currently in the chat. It is not Unhinged time, but it is 5 p.m. Gotta love those day games. Honestly, though, I'm not a big fan of the day games, but let's do attendance / roll call. Shout out to Lori. Yankees remain the same. Interesting name. See, it rhymed a little bit. Shout out to Victor, Julio, Chibuzi, Jamie, Mookie, Yankee Stat Talk, Big Blue in the Bronx, Anthony, Christopher, Felix, Pistol Pete. Sorry if I missed anybody. Hope everyone enjoyed the game today. First off, let's start by saying the Yankees offense still doesn't look like it's completely locked in, but the pitching, bro, the pitching has been amazing on so many levels, the bullpen in particular. But before we get to that, let's kind of break down how the Yankees got their 5 runs today. DJ had an RBI. Bruce probably had like the biggest hit of the game.
Because, it was a birthday hit. It was a birthday hit.
Boy, Bruce. Also, Bruce had a big play defensively, too.
Yeah.
He looked solid at first base. Who else? Gary. Bro, Gary has another home run. Wait, who do you want to focus on first?
Can I just say one thing to everyone that said I was crazy saying Gary Sanchez was going to hit the first home run? Who has the first 2 home runs? I'm just saying.
It's stupid.
But also,
wait, no one else has a home run besides Gary, right?
No one else.
He's the only 2 home runs.
To anyone that watched the video Unhinged posted, I believe it was for Saturday, Pat and I detailed the importance of Loaizaga having a changeup, and it paid dividends today. That pitch was, the only way to put it was just pure filth. That changeup reminds me honestly of Canely, and now Loaizaga is throwing a 2-seam fastball, so everything he throws is not straight.
No, I know, and Loaizaga looked awesome today. We talked about this on the video that came out this morning. I'm not a big fan of Loaizaga coming out for 2 innings, but he did it today and looked fantastic doing it. My man had 2 clean innings. But going back to the lineup really quickly, you know who else looked really good today, as usual? Clint Frazier, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's even his outs just look solid. There was one instance, actually, that I thought was kind of weird. Why did Brett Gardner come in for Clint Frazier? What's the reasoning behind that?
I honestly was just thinking defense.
Frazier's defense that much better than Clint. I know Clint made a rough play that he lost in the sun today.
Honestly, everyone's saying he didn't see it, but we all know as Yankee fans, the sun is really difficult at that. At that hour, it's right in his eyes from left field. I guess they just did that, just ball in the gap. They trust Gardner a little bit more. So I
get it, but
it's just as long as Gardner didn't have an at bat, I didn't mind it.
No, sure. Also, it was good to see DJ come alive today, going 2 for 4. Mm-hmm. Yesterday was kind of brutal for him. It wasn't DJ-like, but we saw DJ back in DJ form today. Judge went 2 for 5, had a couple
hard hit ball.
Hits. Yeah.
His first single was 115.1.
You want to talk about Hicks for a minute because he's probably one of the only guys. With Gio kind of had a solid day today, though. that kind of looks. I mean, you could add Stanton to that list as well. Just looks like completely overmatched at times.
Well, with Stanton's at least making contact. I mean, today his worst at bat was popping up with the bases loaded. But I mean, Hicks has, if I'm correct, 6 strikeouts in 2 games. He literally looks overmatched.
No, I know.
And it's not good because we're relying on him to be that kind of guy that splits up Judge and Stanton. And if he's like not even giving any quality at bat, has he even hit the ball at the infield?
I don't think so.
Wait,
if
let me
we're being
check.
honest with each other, I don't
He had
think
a
so.
single today which didn't leave the infield. No, he has not hit the ball out of the infield this year.
But it just sucks because, bro, I know it's very early, right? But like we were so high on Hicks going into the season. I mean, I
Was he
think
looking good in
tomorrow.
spring training.
I don't think so. But like Brandon, like disagree with me if you want to, but I think tomorrow you have to move him down in the order.
I think if he has another bad game tomorrow, then you start maybe give him an off day or something. But like he can't keep doing this. Like,
No,
it's
especially in the 3-hole.
Yeah, I mean, if it was in like at this point, I said to my friend earlier, switch Clint and Hicks. I feel like that would be a really good thing
Wait, switch Clint and Hicks in the lineup?
in the lineup. Yeah. In the lineup.
Anthony kind of makes a good point. It just looks like Hicks wants to
does.
walk. It really does. He's being very passive. If you could check right now, how many strikeouts looking does he have? Because it has to be at least 3.
One.
Just one, really? I mean, I feel like he's taken a lot of strikes.
He's taken a lot of strikes.
Yeah.
I mean, he has in the first game. He struck out first 2 at bats, then had a fielder's choice, a walk, then he struck out looking in the 10th just to lead off the 10th, which was the worst at bat. Yeah, it was a good pitch, but I mean, they're also shifting on him, so you need to. And then today he started off again with 2 strikeouts, then had that single, and then struck out again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, hopefully Hicks comes around because they kind of need him to.
Yeah.
But also Stanton's another guy who I think today he put up better at bats than he did on Thursday. I believe he had 2 walks today. His at bats were definitely making progress, but obviously he's not at that same point where he was in spring training, where he was mashing every single ball that came his way.
Yeah, with Stanton, he was making more contact, and he was just missing some pitches. So I have a feeling in the next few days he'll start getting a hold of them. But yeah, no, that at bat against I forgot what inning it was, where it was bases loaded, was really bad. But also, I actually, the Blue Jays pitcher Dolis, I actually timed him in between. He took 40 seconds in between pitches.
Bro, he looks just like Kenley Jansen.
In cases like that, I'm like, just give us a pitch clock, because it was like, he was like, come on.
Who was that guy on the Dodgers that took forever? Baez?
Pedro Baez. He's now on the
Astros. Yeah. Other than that, though, I mean, like the lineup was pretty solid. I know Bruce has had a couple of rough games, but like his hit today was huge. Bruce is like one of those cases where, sure, like Bruce, you could suck all you want, but when it comes to situations like that, sure, like that's all we need, Bruce. Like just come through when it matters, and that's all that matters.
Also, fuck the Blue Jays. Excuse my language. And those hits, like those blue hits, were pissing me off. Like the only reason I'm cursing, they were just everything they hit kept falling. Everything.
No, so annoying.
But of course, the way baseball works is the one time they line a ball, it's right at someone.
No, yeah, obviously. But speaking of like the Yankees hitting when it actually mattered, they did a much better job of that today compared to Thursday. They were 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They still left 12 guys on base. I told Brandon this before we went live. The Yankees offense did well today. But if this lineup was locked in, this is a game where they could easily have scored like 15 runs. Am I right?
Yeah, so I'm looking at it. Take a guess who left the most guys on base. We left 19 on base total.
No way.
19.
Bro, that's not true because the box score says 12.
Are you? I'm on MLB at bat, and it says left on base.
I'm on MLB.com. Team left on base 12.
Oh, I was looking at the box score itself because they counted for like each batter. So yeah, no.
Yeah.
According to the box score,
you counted it for both teams because the Blue Jays have 7.
It's weird because when you add this up, it says Torres has 6, Stan had 4, Hicks had 2, Judge had 3. Who knows? Either way, it was Torres. Torres, I believe, had the most.
But how did Torres have 6 if the team had 12? That just doesn't make sense. Someone messed up somewhere.
Maybe they're counting like, let's say in one at bat, Torres or Stanton was up. He had left 3 on base, and then Torres comes up, flies
No,
out.
yeah, I mean, like, bottom line here, like, they
Too much.
left a lot of guys on base today, and they could have easily had, like,
This was a game.
much more runs.
This game should have been like an 8-3, 9-3 type game.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, also, like, I say we move on to the pitching now because, like, it was pretty good. I mean, also, Kluber didn't have his best stuff today. It was kind of weird how inconsistent his stuff was today. It was like one batter, he would look absolutely electric, and then the next batter he just had no control over his pitches.
But still, I mean, everyone can blame Gary for that ball, but that's not too bad of a throw. A major league shortstop needs to make that play.
No,
Torres
yeah,
took his
Glaber
eye
needs
off
to make
it.
that play.
Like, honestly, normally a bounce throw, sometimes you can get him. You just need to knock that down. That was an unearned run. But, I mean, Corey Kluber looked good. Like, for his first major league start that went more than 1 inning, he looked good. He looked exactly what we wanted from him. He was dotting the corners. Honestly, there's nothing better than, I think it was back-to-back pitches against either Biggio or Tellez, where he dotted the outside corner with 2 sliders at 81.
I think it was Biggio.
It was like that's the type of pitch where you throw your bat away and like you can't do anything with those. You literally can't hit them.
No, exactly. But like, here's the thing about Kluber. Like, we don't necessarily need him to be the guy to give us like 7-8 innings of like Garrett Cole type pitching. That's why I think while he is the number 2 to start the season, by the end of the year, we're looking at Corey Kluber as maybe like our 3 or 4. And like a performance like this out of your 3 or 4, obviously you might want him to go to like 5 or 6 innings. Keep in mind, this was his first start in 2 years, so they obviously weren't going to push him too far, especially after the home run he gave up to start the 5th. But I mean, this is the type of performance like you would want out of your 3rd or 4th starter, right?
Exactly. This is exactly what you want. Keep them in the game. Also, the home run he gave up to Simeon, that was just a good piece of hitting. Like that ball was inside. He brought his hands in nicely. Yeah. But I do want to bring up the one comment just under the one he brought up. Gary's framing this year is significantly better. Like we all knew last year, if the ball was like over here, he would just bring it to the middle. Now he's finally catching the corners.
I would say his defense in general looks like it's massively improved.
I mean, the second pass ball by Litke, you can't block that curveball. You just can't.
Okay, is it just me or were you a little bit disappointed in Litke today?
Not really. I mean,
it just looked like he didn't have anything.
He had nerves. He had nerves.
That's probably what I mean. He hasn't pitched in the major league since what, 2015?
But he still did a pretty good job. I mean, he gave up. It was a blue pit. It was a blue pit to start, then a pass, then like a block curve. He did fine for honestly his first appearance in a while. But what was important is that a low 90s fastball getting out righties was quite impressive.
No, listen. I think Litke is going to play a decent role in the bullpen this season. I just don't know where his role is going to fit when Wilson and Britton come back.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Is Chapman like on the roster, or are we gonna have to send someone down when he's back?
I think he's on the roster.
Okay,
I'm
so we don't.
Sure he's on the roster.
Yeah, no, so we don't have to send someone down because
I mean, when Wilson comes back, I'm assuming King will be the one to go down.
No, I think it'll be Litke.
No, you think?
Okay,
it could only make sense in the way of they see King as like a long reliever. And, like, they could use him in, like, a mop-up role where, like, Litke is kind of, like, not that more versatile, if that makes sense.
It's just thinking the bullpen, I'm so surprised. That I've been saying this for a while. That changeup for Loaizaga is going to make him, honestly, I'll say, it could make him elite because you have a 97-plus mile-an-hour two-seamer that's really hard to hit and a good curve, but you need a pitch to move in on righties that is not as fast as your fastball. That changeup, also to lefties, we've seen it with Canely, is unhittable. So, if you can get Loaizaga to be 2017 Chad Green, that bullpen's that much better.
No, and I think like that's what he has the potential for. It's like, okay, I know I said this on the podcast this morning. Like, I think Nick Nelson kind of has higher potential than Loaizaga. I think they're kind of toe and toe. Like, they both have the potential this year to, like, break out as, like, the Chad Green type guy. Yeah. But speaking of Chad Green, like, he's looked untouchable so far to start the season. Same thing as Darren O'Day. I think that Darren O'Day, like, he gave up, like, a few bloop singles. Like, that's so annoying. But I think that he's just what the Yankees needed. He's, the anti-Adam Ottavino.
The guy that throws strikes.
Yes. Literally, like, he's the complete opposite. And he's cheaper. You'll love to see that.
I had a little bit of deja vu, and I don't know why I remember this, but 2017 against the Orioles, like opening week, O'Day came on to close the game. He had that same exact like throw to second, but it was called a balk. So when I saw it, I'm like, that's completely a balk. It was
Last
just
year?
really no 2017. I remember because then Didi had the a go ahead. Then we lost. That was the game Brian Mitchell had to play first base.
I do remember that game.
It's just I thought it was a balk, and I was like, if that was a balk, we would have been screwed.
Okay, tell me if I'm wrong, but I see a lot of Brian Mitchell and Michael King. For some reason, they just remind me of each other.
They kind of look the same.
Junior B has a question. Great game today for the boys, but I'll be honest, I don't think they could go pound for pound with LA, at least not right now. You guys agree? I disagree.
Colorado has absolutely no pitching.
Well, I mean, also, like, Colorado kind of gave them a run for their money last night.
Yeah, I mean...
And that was with Bauer on the mound. Also, can we talk about that for a minute? Bauer had a no-hitter going into the 7th. Then he gave up, like 5 runs?
Two two-run home runs. Then David Price comes in and gives up back-to-back home runs.
Wait, Price came in out of the bullpen?
Mm-hmm. He's in the bullpen. Dustin May won the 5th starter spot.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Licky is a lefty. I think he'll stay over King because of that, especially if he pitches well. I don't think the Yankees only want one lefty in the bullpen. Because they would have 2 because Chapman will be back.
They would have then 3. Litke, Wilson.
Well, no, I'm saying like if Licky wasn't in there.
Yeah, no, you want more than one because Chapman you're going to use as your closer.
Yeah. Shout out to Peter. Good afternoon, everyone. How we doing, Peter? What is tomorrow's video? I think for tomorrow's video we're going to be talking about Kluber's start and kind of like what that means for the Yankees moving forward. I agree, Swainer. King goes down and plays starting pitcher in AAA once Wilson is back. Rocky smash Kershaw.
Yeah, no, Kershaw did not look good first game. Fun fact, Kershaw doesn't scare me.
I would like Kershaw, but regardless, so Chapman comes back tomorrow, I think Chapman coming back tomorrow is much bigger for the Yankees than what people realize because right now, like the first 2 games, they've been working with a bullpen in 2 close games that necessarily isn't that deep as it is. So like we've been seeing, when did O'Day come in on Thursday? Like the 7th?
No, he came in the 9th.
Oh, who came in the 7th?
Chad Green.
Green. Okay, so Green came in the 7th on Thursday. Like, we're able to push everyone like an inning back now, right? I'm hoping Domingo is able to go at least 5 tomorrow, right? So I mean,
he's a swing and miss guy. The Blue Jays love to swing. As long as he can get his fastball working and not hang that curveball, I think you can expect a pretty good outing.
Yeah, I don't want to go like too deep into Domingo yet because we're going to do that on the pregame tomorrow. But I'm hoping he could at least give the Yankees like 5 to 6 innings. And then after that, I'm assuming, now this is an assumption, they you know what they say when you assume, but I think Nick Nelson or Luis Cessa is probably the first guy to the bullpen tomorrow.
I would assume Cessa or Nelson. I don't think we'll see Green. It'd be
probably
3 days.
And he went an inning and a third.
I think you could see O'Day because he only threw to. He did throw a decent amount of pitches. He threw.
If we see O'Day tomorrow, it'll be later in the game.
Yeah, he threw 19 pitches. Loizaga we won't see. I think we're gonna see. Honestly, tomorrow is the day you need a blowout.
No,
Who's pitching for that? TJ Zuck.
I don't know.
I feel like
I thought it was Roark.
No, I feel like we played him last year, and he actually threw 2 games against us. One game he went 3 innings, 1 hit, 3 hits, 1 run, which is a home run, and then again 3 1/3, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks, then 1 walk.
He's a lefty or a righty?
He is a big righty, 6'7".
Interesting. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, this right here.
We need a blowout.
Green is best as a fireman and coming with high leverage. Chapman back lets him play more of that role. I think that's also a key too, because now like Green doesn't necessarily have to be your closer anymore, like because you have Chapman for that, so you could use Green as like that fireman. But as far as like a blowout goes tomorrow,
we need one.
Bro, I really wanted a blowout today, just because I thought that would be like very beneficial for Kluber in his first start back. Also because I thought the offense kind of could use it as momentum moving forward. But now looking towards tomorrow, I mean, tomorrow would be the day for a blowout. I mean, yeah. The offense kind of hinted to it today. They had so many opportunities to make this game a blowout. I wouldn't have been shocked if the game was like 10-5 in the 6th inning, just because of like that's how it was going. But they just missed so many opportunities. But I think tomorrow might be the day for that. We'll see. It is Easter tomorrow, so maybe they'll get like some luck out of that.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, Gio's probably gonna hit a home run then,
because he's a Christian.
Yeah.
There you go. It's so funny that Gary is the only Yankee hitting bomb so far.
Gary's at bats, even when he's not getting a hit, they just look so good. And I've said this, it's just that little bit of a leg kick, and it's just the confidence. Like,
no, I know. And like, if we're being honest with each other, Brandon, like going into the season, no one on the Yankees needed this kind of start more than Gary Sanchez.
yeah, and the reason why I've never given up on him is a guy like that doesn't lose that talent unless your name is Rick Ankiel and you get the yips. But he had it all. He just needed confidence.
Yeah.
And honestly, that the fans, they help.
No, obvious. I mean, but I think that might be the opposite with Gary because I feel like he's a guy who's like very in his head all the time. But then again, it could go your way too because maybe having the fans there like takes some stress off his mind because he's not sitting there in silence just having thoughts race through his head. You know what I mean? So maybe the fans can be beneficial for him because it blanks out some of that stuff. But
also, I don't want to jinx anything, but the umps have been really good these past 2 games.
I was going to say they've been a little bit inconsistent.
I mean, yeah, but like it's nothing too crazy. The calls like all around the field have been really good.
Well, no, it's no what was that guy's name? Not Buckner, CB Buckner. Yeah, we had some bad experience with him last year. THG says, "Can you and Derek do a co-watch party? Derek's going live tomorrow if you're available." But then CJ says, "Don't do joint watch party tomorrow. I have church and brunch Easters." Yeah, I don't think we'll do the joint.
You have to try to sync yourself up with Derek, and that can be a little bit difficult.
I mean, we'll do it probably someday next week, but probably not tomorrow, just because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be busy with Easter and stuff. So I'd rather do it a day where everyone's going to be available. I truly expected 7 or 8 Ks for Gary by now, not 2 homers. Clown horn for me. Listen,
I predict the future.
I don't know if he's going to be MVP though, Brandon. But
MVPs for catchers are a lot easier than you think. If a catcher has 35 home runs and hits 250, that's MVP. One thing about the baseball right is there's one good thing that they're old. The catcher does well, they salivate.
Oh, sure. I mean, but also it's the same thing in the sense of like Gary doesn't need to have an MVP year. Like he just needs to have a decent season. Just for people like, bro, it's crazy to think about. Like a week ago, we had people in our chat saying like, "Oh, like just DFA Gary, like Higgy needs to start over Gary." Like, no, this is the exact reason these past 2 games that Gary Sanchez needs to be playing for the Yankees because all he needs is at-bats. He needs consistency. He needs to like get back in the groove of things. If you keep starting and swapping him with Higgy, not only does it demolish his like mental confidence, but also demolishes like his eye at the plate because he's not getting consistent at-bats. So like that's why I also think his performance with Cole is so important. And like that was something that was kind of like not talked about so much on Thursday, how well he worked with Cole.
Gary was great.
Yeah.
The blocking looked great. He's got a cannon of an arm. I will say, though, props to the Blue Jays. That Marcus Semien signing was really good. But also, Vlad's an awful first baseman.
Okay, hear me out. I think Vlad's going to have a monster offensive season.
Oh, he's going to have a monster offensive
season. He looks really good at the plate.
But, like, I ain't a major league first baseman, but I think for anyone that played first, you don't stride until you see the trajectory of the ball. This man's striding before it's even there.
Well, this is only like his first full season at the position.
Yeah, no, but he's gonna have you saw that ball that he hit to Hicks that almost went by him.
No, I know. Chen says, calling it now. Gary, Stan, and Judge both go deep.
That's only happened once.
What? All 3 of them?
Yeah.
Oh, was that? That
Tampa.
was against the Rays in 2018, right?
Blake Snell was pitching.
Yes, I remember that.
Stan hit that
home run. Yes,
it was a bomb.
Yes, I remember because I was going to school and I was like staying like just for Stan's at bat, and then when I saw him hit the home run, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, I was on my way home. I was waiting to get on the elevator, and I remember listening to John Sterling. He crushed it.
Anthony says, I just want Gardner to start over Clint tomorrow just so we could see a mad Pat.
Honestly,
why do you guys want that, though? Like, why do you want to see me mad?
After Clint Frazier has, honestly, he had an...
Bro, if Clint sits tomorrow, I'm rioting. I'm rioting. I'm going to Yankee Stadium with, like, a picket fence. And I'm just going to, like, riot outside the stadium. Do you want to join?
Sure.
What are the odds? I'm
double vaccinated, so...
What are the odds Clint sits tomorrow?
I don't think he will.
There's no chance.
There's
a chance maybe Hicks sits for Gardner.
There's a chance.
Slim chance, but I don't know. Wait, there's a lefty or a righty on the mound?
Righty.
Vlad is overhyped, to be honest. He definitely was overhyped.
Yeah, no,
I think he's still a good player.
To start, he was, but he really needed to lose weight. Vlad is like, if they didn't have Rowdy Tellez, he would be a great DH.
I thought you were going to say he would be a great catcher. I don't know why. I just felt like that was coming.
He's too big for that.
Wait, Rowdy Tellez used to be a catcher, right?
No.
Are you sure?
The Blue Jays still have 2018 me behind as their backup catcher.
Oh, Kirk? Bro, that dude is like, I'm not even going to say
that was literally me.
I don't know how he's like a professional baseball player. But
Bro, I still don't know how I moved at that weight. You can just be athletic with that.
Jamie McNeil says Gary has had 2 good games of the dish. The last 2 seasons he's been hitting on the interstate. So let's see what happens after a few months. Listen, I'm not going on record as saying Gary's officially back after 2 good games, but this is much more promising to see than if he would have like 8 strikeouts in the past 2 games with 3 passed balls. You know what I mean?
Also, people forget the first half of 2019, he was an all-star. He was really good.
No, I know.
He was he kept us alive during that time. If I'm looking at it now, no strikeouts today. He hasn't struck out once.
And that's after not being that impressive this spring.
Yeah, he had a couple. He just had some hits, but like he's just really being disciplined.
Going back to the outfield really quick. Jabuzi said the same thing that I said in our group chat today. They might start Gardner because it's Easter and his head looks like an Easter egg.
Put him in center then.
You might have to do it. Just like how Bruce had a clutch hit today because it was his birthday. Like tomorrow's essentially Gardner's day because he looks like an egg.
When's Caillou's birthday though? Because then Gardner should play that. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. You're definitely not gonna find a date for that.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to find that, Brandon. But
oh no, wait. Okay, no, that's not. Never mind. Nope, that's not his birthday is September 11, 2001.
You're an asshole, Brandon. What was I saying?
Jay Bruce.
Oh, okay. So speaking of the outfield, I think like tomorrow, if they do decide to sit Hicks, Talkman needs to be that guy. Like just because I want to see Talkman like get some at bats.
Yeah.
Like I know like he came in as a pinch runner the other day, but
had the balls to steal that steal of third. I love that. Like you need to. There's been a lot more stealing this year.
Do you Michael think he did it on his own?
No, I think they told him to steal second. They definitely told him to steal second.
What about third?
I think it was still like a call. I mean, but he had that's the thing with third. Like you can only steal third if you know you're gonna get there. Because there's like the cardinal rule in baseball: don't make the last out of third. Don't get out at third.
Yeah.
But it was good to see Judge also in the outfield make a good throw today.
Yeah, I mean, there was one play like where I think it was kind of obvious that he was being a little careful. I forgot who hit the ball, but there was a ball that landed in front of him. Yeah, he definitely could have caught it.
Yeah, no, honestly, I don't mind that. Don't dive because it's the second game of the season. It didn't come out. Was the Bichette one?
I think so.
That one. No reason for it. I also thought whose hit was it that I thought actually there was one ball. Oh, Stanton's like long foul ball. For a split second, I thought he hit it to Jersey.
No, I didn't though. I like the whole crowd went crazy, but I did not think that ball was crushed. CJ says Talkman would be fun tomorrow. The steal would probably got his confidence up. I would love to see him rake. I think Talkman should get some at bats. And if there was a day to sit Hicks, it might be tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know. He just looks lost.
I'll be pissed though if they do start Gardner over Talkman. It wouldn't make any sense.
That would be more. I would understand that more than them starting Gardner over Frazier, but I don't see them changing it.
Oh God! If Brett plays, he'll be in center field at number 3 because he's a good 3 hitter. I hope that's a joke.
No, they would put him at third because you need a lefty to split the big guys up. But honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be so sure that Gardner. I would honestly think Gardner at this point will be able to put up better at bats than Hicks. That's how bad Hicks has been. He's looked non-existent. His front half is like flying open. He's not staying on the ball. I mean, look at the shift they're giving him. Lay down a bunt. We've seen how that can improve someone's confidence.
Yeah. How are you impressed with Kluber's outing? And I think we're going to take 2 out of 3 with Toronto and sweep the Orioles. We face the Orioles directly after this, right? At home? Yeah. I mean, honestly,
the Orioles are this year.
By next week, the Yankees could be 5-1.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Kluber, for not pitching for 2 years, pretty much, he looked good. Yeah, the walks were there, but his stuff looked really good.
Yeah, and I think kind of like the inconsistency with his control is something that's going to come back to him as the season goes on and he gets more innings underneath his belt. But I mean, for a guy that hasn't pitched since 2019, there's nothing better you could ask for. I mean, he gave up 1 earned run.
Yeah, honestly, the funniest tweet I saw today, someone said Corey Kluber showing emotion after getting out of a jam, and it was just him walking off of the straight. That man shows no emotion. You just look at him in the dugout, and he's like this.
He's the DJ LeMahieu of pitchers.
DJ at least shows some emotion, like after like a walk off or something. Kluber's just like, he just sits there.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm just gonna go do my work. But those are some. But then you feel like the young pitchers just need to pick his brain, because he's like the type of guy that you can learn so much. I mean, remember, for like the span of like, I would say from like 2015 to like 2017, he was the best pitcher on the planet.
Oh yeah. No, it's just such a soothing feeling watching him on the mound.
Yeah, it's just like it's methodical.
No, yeah. Like, I don't want to say it looks smoother than like when Garrett Cole's on the mound, because it's 2 completely different pitching styles, but it's just more it's more of a relaxing feeling, I guess.
It's like watching Greg Maddux. If you see the catcher set down the sign, a spot, and he's almost always hitting the glove. It's like methodical, slow kind of motion. Like Cole's out there like fireballs. Kluber's like, I'm gonna dot these corners, and like his sinker it's like a sinker 2-seam is really good, but that slider is disgusting.
It's crazy to think that he's a Yankee. Like, I never thought this day would come, but like here he is, a Yankee.
Also think about this. If Sevy comes back and he's normal, Cole, Sevy, Kluber, Tyone,
Monty.
Domingo Germán, Monty. Again, for the first time ever, the New York Yankees have pitching depth.
I think in that case, though, like, Sevy would replace Domingo. I think you would have to, because you're not going to have a rotation full of all righties.
Yeah,
unless Domingo's having like a ridiculous Cy Young season, like Derek thinks he is.
Yeah, no, I would have to agree with you there.
CJ says, don't call it a slider, Brandon. It is the Kluber ball.
Okay. But also, he's also a changeup. Like, that's the thing. Everyone's like Matt Blake, but like, just, I still think one of the best pitches in baseball is a good changeup. I would take a good changeup over a curveball, honestly, sometimes over a slider. Because think about this. Tommy Kahnle made his career throwing 2 pitches, a fastball and a changeup. You have a good changeup as a reliever, you will be a top 20 reliever. Look at Devin Williams. He comes out of nowhere. His changeup is disgusting.
No, I know. Like, bro, Kluber is just filth. I think it just goes to show, like, his stuff is there. If he could get like consistency with his control, he's going to be lights out. So it matters whether or not that control is able to come back. But yeah, just like Chen said, Kluber looked good. He just needs to get more reps and starts. He's getting his confidence back and get better command on the mound. That's true.
There's no way for us to tell about his confidence though, because he just has a straight face.
When is Tyone scheduled to pitch again?
The Orioles series.
Tuesday. Yeah. So
no, Cole's pitching Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's right. So tomorrow's Domingo. Monday's Monty.
They're doing that to get everyone on a 5-day schedule, because now with Cole pitching on Thursday, you have Friday off. If you have Cole then go on Tuesday, he's going on his normal 5 days rest. It's just to get everyone synced up for 5 days rest. I mean, Jameson Tyone. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. He probably threw a full strength simulated game today, because then Sunday he'll do his long toss. Probably more long toss on Monday. Then I'll probably throw a bullpen on Tuesday, and I'll throw on Wednesday.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, listen, I think Tyone is probably the only other guy in the rotation I'm looking forward to seeing pitch, just because if he could be on, that means the world for the Yankees. I'm not that excited to see Domingo Germán pitch, because despite what a lot of people saw on him this spring, I'm still not that high on him going into the season. I don't know. Like, he definitely has potential to pitch very well, but just something in my head, I'm not that high on him.
It's going to be Tyone versus Means on Wednesday. And a fun fact, I remember last time we faced John Means, this was 2019. GJ hit a first pitch home run.
Are you sure that wasn't last year?
No.
And didn't Hicks hit it like a 3-run bomb?
We did do that last year as well, but I remember this is a game I was actually at. Means was pitching, and actually, I was on live on Periscope, and I was ended up catching it.
God, Brandon.
But I mean,
okay.
DJ looked good though.
Yeah. But based on the game today, listen, I said in the pregame that this game was more important to win than opening day was. Just because Kluber was on the mound. You want to see how the team could rebound from such a putrid performance, especially the runners scoring position on Thursday. The only thing that was kind of disappointing about today was the defense didn't look too good. As well, but it's okay, it's fine. It's gonna come to them. I think Glaber looked better at short, right? Thursday he didn't look too good at short. Bruce looked better at first. Clint just missed that ball and left. It's fine.
But honestly, he had to come. Like people were like saying he had to go a long. Like that ball's in no man's land. He had to go a really long way for it.
Nice shirt, Brandon.
Thank you. Where can you get this shirt when it drops?
Unhingedclothing.shop. We actually have. I didn't say this on live yesterday, but we do have the Unhinged KC t-shirts up on unhingedclothing.shop right now.
Speaking of them, do you see what Michael A. Taylor is doing for them?
Are they winning right now? Because I know they were losing, and then
I will check. But Michael A. Taylor is going insane. They took the dub 11-4. Michael A. Taylor had 3 RBIs and 2 hits, including a home run.
So they're winning 8-4?
No, they won 11-4.
Oh, bro, they were losing like 4-0, I think.
Yeah, they were losing 4-0.
I'm telling you.
They were losing 4-0. They had a 3-run inning in the 5th and then scored 7 in the 6th.
Watch out for the Royals this season. I'm just saying.
They got no expectations, and that's that. We've seen what that can do to a team. You have no expectations. Honestly, in a wide open division, I don't see anyone in the Central that really can run away. I mean, of course, Josh Donaldson's hurt again. I remember there's some Yankee fans saying, get Donaldson.
Yeah.
No, he gets hurt all the time. I mean,
listen, Brandon, two teams to keep an eye on in the American League this year, especially for wildcard spots, the Angels and the Royals. 2 teams that, they don't necessarily have the pitching right now, but I think that they have the offense to kind of, piece something together up until the trade deadline and then make a deal for an arm. I can see it happening.
Angels lose someone today? Or what did he used to be an Angel, I believe. Ty Buttrey, I believe, retired or stepped away from baseball.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, Rosenthal tweeted it. No, he's actually a Giant. Oh, no, he is an Angel. They just lost someone as well. He is one of their big bullpen arms. I mean,
between Kluber and Tyone, I see either one having big seasons. I don't see both having great years. I think Tyone can shock everyone this year and win 18 games.
Honestly, wins is the worst way to evaluate a pitcher because you could get 18 wins but somehow have a 5 ERA because wins are just look at Domingo Germán. I mean, you look at Domingo Germán. When you get 8 runs of run support, you have a lot of room to. I think the best way to see is just you could do ERA, but just the quality of games if he's going deep into games and just giving the Yankees a chance. I always think quality starts. It's 6 innings, less than 3 runs.
Yeah, and listen, I think I don't know who watched the live stream last night with Dan and Kyle and BBD, but Dan said it was almost a surefire thing that Kluber was going to have a bad year this year. That's not the case by any means. I think Kluber could have a very solid year. I think as long as Kluber gives you a sub-4 ERA, that's all you need. Bro, I think Kluber's going to be solid this year. I think today was a good beginning for him. But that is going to wrap things up for the postgame unless you have anything else to add from today's game.
I actually have a question, kind of question for the chat and for you. Who do you think is going to give us our first quality start as a pitcher? So I think it's 6 innings, less than 3 runs. I actually have a bold. I have a bold take on it.
I think Jordan Montgomery does on Monday.
Yep. I was gonna say Jordan Montgomery
against the Orioles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say don't sleep on the Orioles though. It's not going to be like 2019 when we absolutely destroyed them.
Listen, they're a little bit better, but they're still not a good team.
They're not going to be easy. We're not going to go only losing 2 games.
Well, they weren't easy last year.
No, they were annoying last year, and they're going to be annoying this year. Mountcastle, I hate him.
Herman.
I would like the Yankees on Monday to win 10-1, and the only run from the Orioles is a Trey Mancini home run.
Sure. Yeah, shout out to Trey Mancini. Dude's a dog. Yes, we will do meditation. Brendan, what should we meditate about the Yankees win the World Series?
I think we should.
Because, today for the pregame, maybe what we should do for the pregames is meditate for the Yankees to win the day's game.
Yes.
And then post-games, we'll meditate for the World Series. How about that?
I think that is a great idea.
5-second meditation, go. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Beautiful.
Shout out to everybody in the chat who tuned in for the post game today. Recorded episode coming out on the channel tomorrow at 9 a.m. because it is a day game. We'll be live for the pregame tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and the post game tomorrow at whenever the game ends. If it's a long game like today's was, we'll be live at 5. So turn on post notifications so you do know when we go live every day. We're going live before and after every single Yankees regular season game. Eventually we'll be live for the playoff games. Maybe I'll go on Twitch tonight. I'll let you guys know on Discord. But you guys know the drill. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Peace. See you guys tomorrow.